guys, this is Oddjob Entertainment bringing you another video. I've been playing a bit of Star Citizen 3.14 and I want to talk to you guys about it. Star Citizen is like a negligent partner. Shows up late, forgets to bring a lot of things that you talked about, often super frustrating. Star Citizen is like... But then they'll go and do something that reminds you that they care. Like literally let you fly off into a sunset on an alien world, or give you high stakes FPS scenarios where you feel the weight of losing because you spawn back 15 minutes away, or deliver amazing ship-to-ship combat like no other game, or create the world's first gas giant simulated in real time. It's these things that make Star Citizen so hard to quit. When the game works as intended, there's nothing else like it. Sure, Elite Dangerous is on the horizon and is definitely trying to steal the spotlight, but I simply don't think they can. Star Citizen has definitely had a lot of feature creep, but that has made it a genre unto itself, and nothing else really comes close. But what about 3.14? Well, as you can see from the background video playing at 500% speed, it hasn't been the most stable build for me. In the background you'll see 4 separate attempts to complete one of the Daymar cave mission variants. Only in the 4th attempt would the stars align to allow me to finish the mission. So if the game is so buggy and flea-ridden, why is it that I hold out hope for the future? It's that 4th attempt. What other game allows you to fly to another planet, land, explore a cave filled with space pirates, and engage in FPS combat that gets your heart pumping like this? The depth and breadth of what Star Citizen already has is beyond the plans of anyone else. Elite Dangerous doesn't have this kind of immersion anywhere on their scopes. And while they are adding FPS elements, they aren't looking to compete toe-to-toe with the feature set Star Citizen has, and no one else even attempts to come close. Star Citizen takes the crown for the most immersive space sim on the market. So despite all the crashes and hiccups, it's the 4th attempt that keeps me coming back. When everything works right, when the server doesn't go down, when the NPCs don't stand around like a horror movie, when the desync is calmed, because it's those moments when you get a glimpse into the potential of the game that you get hooked. Now don't think I'm blind to those warts. I see them, and they frustrate me to no end. Supposedly, at the time of this recording, a 3.14.x patch is in the works that will hopefully improve the stability of the patch going forward. I'll have to try it out when it comes. I wish that the game worked better than it does. If the stability was there, I'd have no problem sinking more time into it. But we're not there yet. Star Citizen is an alpha, and with that means that optimization and stability are bottom of the list of priorities. However, there is still hope for gamers like myself. We are told that server meshing, iCache, Pcache, and others are close on the horizon. Once these are implemented, the game will be more full and rich than ever before, and we might even have one unified server population. No more fighting for slots on servers to play with friends. Servers will intelligently dedicate resources to ease bottlenecks, and persistence will be a real thing in-game. Furthermore, Squadron 42 is nearing completion, and much of the content and tech that was developed for that will translate to the PU. These features give me hope that many of my strifes with the game are coming to a close. But we'll just have to wait and see how it pans out. So I would describe myself as cautiously optimistic. If these really do bring the turnaround that we're hoping for, then the next 2 years of development will bring us a totally different game, with a pool of content that dwarfs what we have at the moment. Stepping away from speculation and conjecture, what do I think specifically about 3.14? I love Orison, and you should watch my reaction to that in my chair demo video, link on the screen. I'm a huge fan of capacitors, and I think it adds a layer of depth to combat that didn't exist before. I now have to really think before I let loose on the guns, and the power triangle actually does things now. The improvements to the UI are also a very welcome change, and it is so much clearer what resources I have access to, where I am pointing, and what is the status of my ship. I like the missile operator mode, and it makes so much more sense compared to what we had before. Admittedly, I haven't taken too much time to understand the new scanning mode, since I've not done much mining, but what I have seen is awesome as well. The amount of information you can extract about ships is great, and I could definitely see it being useful for planning an attack and weighing your options. I love that the boxes are gone and the ping washes over the environment in a pleasing, sweeping animation that is... In the background, we are now on the 4th attempt where I actually get to complete the mission and get paid. This mission existed in previous patches, but there's a truck outside my window and I'll have to do this voiceover again. In the background, we are now on the 4th attempt where I actually get to complete the mission and get paid. This mission existed in previous patches, but this is my first time running it all the way through. You're told that the notorious criminals hold up somewhere in this cave surrounded by lethal associates. I traverse to the unmarked location on Daymar and land my ship. Venturing inside, the only light is from my flashlight and flares on the ground, but I don't dare use my flashlight because it would give me away, or at least that's what I would assume. As I creep deeper into the cave, I come across my first pirate, but there are many more to come. After the first opening, the navigation gets harder, and it requires a conscious effort to not get lost in the unforgiving maze of tunnels. All the while I inch closer to my target, but the threat of death and a lengthy journey to return looms over me, and I'm careful not to risk that death. With my heart stuck in my throat, I make my way to my objective and quietly dispatch him and the rest of his entourage. 3.14 represents the culmination of years of development to create a game that is immersive and genuinely fun to play. The movement of your character and ships are complex, but rewarding. The game is surprisingly intuitive despite its complexity, and a great deal of that is due to 3.14 specific changes to UI and information delivery. Did I mention that the UI is different? So different, in fact, that it is almost unrecognizable from the previous version, and this is definitely a good thing. The old UI was clunky, hard to read, worse to understand, and failed to deliver important information. We now have a 3D compass for taking headings, a simple feature that was sorely absent in the previous version. We now have dumbfire missiles, the ability to slave multiple missiles to a single lock, true power management with pros and cons to each tree, a greater distinction between energy and ballistic weapons, and in the future, a much more fleshed out interpretation of the various ship roles in the game. Admittedly, I'm not very pleased with the current standing of my Aegis Saber, but wiping the slate clean was definitely the right move if it enables them to further distinguish trade in cargo ships, fighters, stealth, bombers, etc., etc. 3.14 to me feels like a coming home moment. The visual updates and refreshes to features and inclusion of new ones make this game breathe new life and start to measure up to the lofty promises we've been told. We know that more features are yet on the horizon, but if they stopped here and finished up optimization, there's enough content to keep someone busy longer than many AAA titles currently. I look forward to when we overtake the last major tech hurdles that will enable an exponential growth of planetary content, player homes and bases, organization gameplay, and more. 3.14 makes me feel like the bone structure is there for this to be a truly amazing game. But this is where I turn it over to you. What has your experience been with 3.14 or Star Citizen at large? Did anything I said strike a chord and resonate with you? Are you enjoying the new features? Is stability preventing you from doing so? Does this patch feel better or worse to you server-wise? What do you think about the UI updates? What do you think about the new operator modes? What do you think about the changes to ship combat with capacitors and the balance pass? Do you think I'm way off base or that I've drunk the Kool-Aid? And before I sign off, I want you to know that if you stick around, you'll see one of those only in Star Citizen moments I've alluded to, but I'll let the rest of the mission play out first. Otherwise, you know how this goes. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Do all the YouTube things. Let me know what you think. And until next time, this is Odd Job Entertainment, signing off.